There's some news going down that that I wanted to get Ferdinand's opinion on. One thing that Ferdinand is like an expert in is crypto. So I'm super stoked to get his feedback on this. Now, if you're not into crypto, that's cool, but consider another financial asset class, right? You may not be into gold, but that's another asset class, or bonds, that's another asset class. So crypto is definitely a good place to look for opportunities, right? I say all stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. I'm sure all the cryptos are bad, all the coins are bad, but every once in a while they act right. So super stoked to have this conversation with you. And by the way, my name is Christopher Yule. I am Chief Marketing Officer at OVTLYR. And here's our friend Ferdinand.
Yes, I am Ferdinand. I will actually be taking over Chief Growth Officer at OVTLYR here shortly. So that is who I am.
Let's freaking go. Chief Growth Officer. We need that all day, every day. All right. So it's good to see everybody here this morning. For the money, OVTLYR University is pretty decent. Did somebody just allow me to segue over to OVTLYR University?
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
That's right. This afternoon, another lesson in OVTLYR University, and we're going to be talking about backtesting. We're going to be talking about making plans, and I think right now is a very brilliant time to be talking about how ignoring all the noise, right? Because Ferdinand, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of noise that I see out there right now. A lot of people who are getting FOMO'd like crazy, which is why I picked that song to start with. No mo FOMO is one of my catchphrases, which probably should trademark before some a-hole tries to do that. So.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, let's pop over to this video here. It's called Crypto Kidnapping is Truly Insane. And I'm really excited to hear your perspective on this, Ferdinand. So please feel free to ask me to pause it or interrupt me or anything like that.
Sure.
One of the craziest stories I've seen in my life, which is the developing story of a 28-year-old crypto investor who was tortured for weeks in a ritzy 8-bedroom townhouse by being electrocuted with wires, beaten with a gun, and was forced to smoke drugs, all to extort cryptocurrency from him. That's what supposedly the prosecutors and police say. Apparently, he was also held out the window of like the 5th story. It's like Batman was interrogating him for his crypto. Now, already, that sounds crazy.
More like the Joker, right? Not exactly Batman. More that doesn't sound like something Batman would do. More like the Joker.
People are going crazy. That is nuts. I didn't even see this particular story. I was thinking we were talking about the one that went on in France where they just arrested 24 people. This is nuts.
Oh, this is different?
Yes.
There's more than one going on? I didn't know this.
This is crazy. You know, I think what's happening right now is a lot of people have made a lot of money in crypto. There's been some huge successes. And if you share those, well, let me put it this way. Everything on the blockchain is public. So if you're able to trace an address and you're kind of watching the blockchain and you're seeing what's going on, you can see the massive trades that are going on that are associated with a specific contract address, your address that you have where you're making those purchases. So it's easy to track if you know what you're looking for. You can do this all on SoulScan. I mean, it just shows you what everybody does. So if these people have, let's say, shared their contract address, there's a lot of things on Twitter that go on where people are like, oh, we'll give you, you'll see these crypto guys that made like, let's say 250,000, 500,000. They're like, I'll give you, X amount of Bitcoin, or I'll give you X amount of Sol, or I'll give you X amount of ETH, whatever they are. It's just kind of a bait to kind of get you to put your address out there to where then they track that particular address. And if you seem like you're a whale because maybe they've tracked to see what you've shared and what you've done on social media because everything is a footprint. Uh-oh. My camera keeps going out. I don't know why it does this. Let me start it again. It just is doing this weird thing.
I can still hear you great though.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep on going on until it clicks again. It's something that's really odd with this. But anyhow, if you have shared that specific information, then what's going to happen is you're now going to be kind of tracked and found, and then people are gonna kind of see where you're at. So I think that's what we're seeing. I'm going to unplug this and then plug it right back in.
That's all right. I'll jump in here. So this is one of the reasons why I do not share how many contracts I buy. I do not share my account balances. I do
Right.
not share anything dollars wise. There are other people on the YouTubes that we've watched their videos who like flash their Ferraris, who flash, you know, their your quote account balances. Who knows if that's actually true or not, or just a screenshot. And I think that that is exceptionally dangerous. That's also why
Very
I
dangerous.
wanted to make sure that I protect my family. If you catch my drift over there,
There it is.
so that is that's a line I'm not willing to cross. Right? There's no, you guys. No offense, I love you guys. I love you outliers, but there's also some bad guys out there, right? I mean, if I'm joking or if I'm Batman, Ferdinand is Ferdinand. What's the guy's name? Do you remember in Batman? He had this the Christopher Nolan Batman's. It was somebody who worked at Wayne Enterprises. I think it was Morgan Freeman. You would be a great Morgan Freeman. I'm just saying. He could definitely play you in the Outlier movie that's going to come out at some point, right?
Yeah, right.
He did all of Batman's like inventions and stuff. So that I would definitely put you there in that camp. But neither one of us need to be showing what our bank accounts are because it's
Yeah.
actually a dangerous thing in this world, right?
It's
And yeah,
really huge, man. And it's you know, I'm glad you said that because that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped posting quite a bit, because it started to get out of hand, and then it just, you know, people see certain things. Granted, there's ways that you know, my business mentor, when he was teaching me about buying like supercars, he was like, I remember when I had this Mercedes at the time, and he's like, you think you're all this with your little Mercedes. He goes, you don't even know how to buy a supercar. He goes, you don't even know how to insure a supercar. He goes, you don't even know where to get the registration done with a supercar. He goes, so I don't even want to talk to you about supercars. So when he finally gave me the conversation, you know, you've got to register your cars to a corporation, and then you've got to put that in a specific state, because then you can have certain tax advantages. So that's one way to kind of mask yourself. But that corporation, if it leads back to you at any certain way online, then they're going to see exactly who you are. So you have to set up like an anonymous LLC so that, you know, nobody can track your license. It's just a whole big thing that you got to do. And even when I had that, you still have these people that, you know, put it this way, I've got multiple cameras around my house from every angles. I've got trail cameras. I've got an arsenal in our safe. And I've got a nice amount of handguns. I've got a protection dog. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's you have to watch out for yourself. And especially your family, because the one that I was thinking of with this crypto story is they kidnapped the grandson of a grandfather.
Oh.
And then went and took the wife. And then it was a gang of masked guys that went, and they're trying to get your seed phrases, which is kind of like your passphrase. So you have like 12 seed phrases that will unlock your crypto account. Well, depending on where they're keeping it, but I keep mine in multiple different places so that it's not
Yeah.
all set in one place. But yeah, I can imagine that they're probably trying to get seed phrases, torturing them, you know, and they're electrocuting that guy. What's your seed phrase? You know, where is it? You know, where do you keep it? And you know, it's 12 specific words that are arranged in a certain pattern that you have to enter in. And if you don't, then everything's locked. If you lose them, then your wallet's gone. You'll never have access to it again.
So
Um,
what is the allure with trying to steal someone's crypto versus like trying to steal someone's trading account, right? Is there a difference here? I don't understand that part.
I think because, again, I think people think crypto is like untrackable, but you know, there's still the blockchain, and people are becoming much more well versed in reading the blockchain and learning how things are operating. So I can't tell you what it may be. I think it's just the allure of like crypto's kind of like, it's not like a regular currency. It's kind of like this black market thing. And a lot of people have hundreds of millions in crypto because of Bitcoin or certain, whatever they have put it in. And then now it's all of a sudden just skyrocketed. Just take, for instance, let's just say a year ago, if you would have put 100,000 into Bitcoin, you'd be a millionaire by now. By what transitioned over this past year, because I believe it went down to like 36,000 and now it's up to like 100 and something thousand again. But that's, I can't tell you that, man. And then it goes to, it's like, why would you put yourself like that type of energy to where you're going to go take and steal from people, and then you don't think that that's going to come back, like, karma? Like, it's the universal rule, right? So yeah, that's a Forex. Thank you there, MMA Italia. Love our people are on it.
Dude, I know. And I really like having this chat feature on the screen. I know some people say it's distracting, but I love it. That like it's easier for me to see as we go. And then I like how they're able to pop in more real time than like if I pop up one of these. It could be minutes and minutes later before I see Nate popping in and say hi.
What's up, Nate?
So yeah, I love that. I think that makes it really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to this video. I want to hear this story.
Enough. Netflix, HBO, all the docuseries guys are lining up to get a piece of this thing. But then it gets crazier because you go, well, that's just allegations, right? That's just allegations. Well, apparently, the police searched the townhouse and recovered a saw, cocaine, chicken wire, body armor, night vision goggles, ballistic helmets, and firearms and ammunition. And get this, they allegedly found Polaroid photos of the kidnapped man with a gun to his head and T-shirts printed with photos of the kidnapped man with a cocaine pipe in his mouth. Say goodbye to the monetization. Look, apparently the kidnappers left proof. I mean, it's like they didn't even want the police to rely on the word of the guy they went after. Apparently, they left all the evidence strewn around the house. This is like the easiest Sherlock Holmes game of your life. Now, I would argue that makes this more strange, not less. What kind of criminals are like taking photos as they're doing it? Maybe it's for some extortion reason. They planned on kind of saying, you better not tell, or we're going to release these photos of the crimes we did. I don't know. But the story gets even crazier. The perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator of this, was a guy named John Waltz. That's the main guy. But he also had a male accomplice who's a Swedish like crypto investor as well. Supposedly, the story is these guys were already rich. John Waltz they call him the crypto king of Kentucky. I've never heard of the crypto king of Kentucky, but okay, that's what we're calling him. And apparently, these guys were extorting this guy before he got to the townhouse. This is why the story got my attention so much. I wasn't going to cover it. I was thinking, wow, the news is going to, and they did do a great job with what the facts are of the case we know so far. But nobody's really analyzing what this means, what this implies. Okay, the 28-year-old was supposedly first already extorted. They said they were going to kill his family. Then the way they got him to because you're wondering, how did he get to the townhouse to get kidnapped? He went voluntarily to supposedly get his cryptocurrency back. Now, think about that. You just got extorted by a guy who says, I'm going to kill your family. Then the story goes, they go, hey, if you want your money back, come to my 5-story house where I have a bunch of other people and I'll give it to you back. That's the story of that's the official story. Weird. That's just odd. Apparently, the 28-year-old flies from Italy to New York, then for 3 weeks gets tortured. Now, first of all, it is shocking to me that he didn't give up his crypto sooner. That's like 3 weeks is so long. But then it's like, okay, they held him from the over the ledge of a flight of stairs while threatening to kill him. At that point, I don't think you need to threaten them. It's implied. But apparently they also urinated on him. Now, why is that necessary? I don't understand where that fits within the like, okay, all right, horrible. I mean, that's terrible. But there's so much to the story where you go like, that's odd. Okay, check this out. On the New York Times version of events, there are 2 butlers who were at the home and agreed to be interviewed by the police. What were they doing this whole time? Were they just
Alfred's about to backstab them.
What is going on with this story? This is so outlandish. What is this is odd, man. It doesn't make I mean, there's so many things to this that just don't make sense.
Nah.
Does the same way to you? Does it seem that way to you? I mean,
Well, let's think about this, right? So he traveled from Italy to
get his
the
crypto
US.
back. So maybe he got scammed in some type of thing to, I know there's scams that happen. It's happened to me before.
Yeah.
But not like your whole well, okay. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. So there could have been a situation where this guy, the guy who traveled and got tortured, there are these things where they're called airdrops, right? So if someone is a scammer, they'll do some type of airdrop, and they usually do it on Twitter. They're saying, "Oh, we're going to airdrop this whatever, NFT or whatever." So you've got to sign in to get the airdrop. So it'll access, well, for the people that don't know any better, you click on it and it'll attach your wallet. This granted has happened to me before too. I think I had like 8 grand taken from me this time when it
So
happened.
when you click it, like it immediately steals your wallet. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it was weird. So when mine happened, I went in and it was in a Discord group, and it was a new coin. It was Trick Coin. This one called Trick Coin. This guy wanted to build this thing to kind of compete with Bitcoin. So it was in the Discord group, and they had this airdrops, like a folder. So I went in there and looked at it, and it had the link to click here to get the airdrop. So the scammers had actually gone into the Discord group, infiltrated into this Discord group, made it look like they were part of that specific coin admin. And then when people clicked on it, it automatically attaches to your wallet, drains everything out, and then you're left with nothing. So that very well could have been the case.
So it's kind of like maybe like a computer virus or Trojan horse or something.
In a
You click
sense,
it,
yeah, it just
you don't have to do
basically,
anything, and it all just goes on in the background without you knowing.
as soon as you give it access, yeah, when you click,
Nice.
attach to my, yeah, it'll go in and then take everything and then suck everything out. And then now you'll look at it, and usually they'll leave you with like an insulting like 63 cents of something. And that's all they leave, and it's like an insult. So it that could have moral of the story, stay in Italy.
Wait. What was that? Moral of the story?
Yeah.
Stay in Italy. Oh, yeah, that comes from Albertone, who's from Italy. Don't go to the U.S.
It's funny. Yeah, so that maybe that's what happened with this guy. I can't. That would make me think that someone would get on a plane and then try to go get everything back if they had taken every. I mean, it's a heavy duty thing to go across. What's the trip to Italy? What's it? 8-10 hours?
Yeah, but like Ferdinand, if you and I have an adversary relationship, I'm not jumping on a plane to come over to your house. And
No,
like let's chat it out, right?
no,
I mean,
that's stupid. Like that, I don't. And then these guys have butlers, and then they're rich. Like this whole thing just is so odd.
yeah. Charlotte says it sounds real fishy to her.
Yeah, right, Charlotte. Like, right.
Manny
just-
said, "Wait a minute, crypto. I thought options were hard." It does sound like a movie plot, though, like legitimately. And I think that's what he was saying at the beginning. Is all these studios are like, "Oh yeah, we got to do this, right?"
Yeah, and this is just one story. I mean, this is just one that's happened in this last week. There's so many more. I think criminals are just getting to that point to where it's the point of no return, right? Let's go try to steal and take from whoever we can, and it's just such an unattractive way to live life,
Yeah,
in my
sure.
opinion.
They just out of the house and they just came back to the house right after all this happened. There's 2 butlers. Were they like helping? Like, hey, sir, here's your wrench, here's your saw, here's your chicken wire. I mean, what were they doing? Okay, so weird. Okay, they're taking pictures. It doesn't make sense. Then you really have to think about the T-shirts, okay? Because we forgot about that. It's one thing to take Polaroid photos because I guess you want to humiliate this guy, whatever. We're going to tell your family if you don't give us your Bitcoin. But you have T-shirts printed with the. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. It's to me that. I mean, I guess they wouldn't.
That's super weird. Like, so you take a picture of the dude, and you're like, "Oh yeah, let's load it up to like teespring.com real quick." And then get them to print it out and send it back. Why, what, who are you wearing these for them to see? Like,
Right.
The
And,
only
like,
reason
real
you put
quick,
something on a shirt is for someone else to see it, right? So who are you trying to show that to? That's really, really weird.
that's psychopathic. That's crazy. And then look at Rick's comment that he had just said. The Italian guy could have been in on the scam. That very well could be. This all could be, I mean, 3 days of being tortured and taken pictures of with things in your mouth of whatever pipes or whatever they're saying in your mouth. Like this is as my son would say, you're doing too much. Like they did too much.
I went all the way to America and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Okay, that's hilarious.
Charlotte's she's on one today. She's got the comedy. I love it. That is so funny.
But why? You know how long it takes to get a t-shirt made? Like that's 2 of the 3 weeks right there. They had to start that process up. And it's almost like planting evidence against yourself. It doesn't make any sense. And what are they doing? Like, is that for like swag? Like to remember you by? Here's a little souvenir. Again, it's dark. I don't mean to make light of it. It's a horrible thing. And the guy has been in the hospital. So clearly there are serious, it's not just like a figment of his imagination. They really found, allegedly, some of these weapons and all this kind of stuff. But I'm just looking at the story going, how does this make sense? Now, what's weirder, John Waltz, the guy they actually caught, first of all, okay, I'm just going to say this guy, I don't know who took photos of him, but he looks like he's on a crime documentary. Just the way, you got to see this picture. You're thinking, don't be like that, Steven. Look.
Wait. Okay, let's guess what he looks like. Okay. So if he looks like he's from a crime documentary, does he go like Jeffrey Dahmer, where he's got the big thick glasses and like he
like long hair, like unkept, and
or maybe like Unabomber, right? Like all unkempt, long beard. Or maybe like Charles Manson, like with the crazy eyes with the swastika carved in his forehead.
He's got to have like a combination of something of these. Like he's got to.
Okay, I'm excited to see those. Watch it pull up, and it looks like us, like just one of us, like to a T.
Look at these photos. I mean,
okay. Jeffrey Dahmer out.
Wow, yeah, I wouldn't have suspected that, but he does look psychopathic.
It's in the eyes, right?
It very well is. I think he's a U.S. congressman. That's great.
I'm joking. But look, what's weird about it is his family or relatives have since come out, according to the press, and said he was set up. There's no way he would do this, right? There's no way. Okay, of course, like anyone's going to say that. But what's weird is you look at his life, and it is a little strange. So he is, like I said, supposedly worth $100 million. But the only thing I can find online about him, and anyone can find online so far, has been that he was a security auditor for something called Grin, which is a privacy-focused cryptocurrency. Now, think about that for a moment. Walk with me as we think about what this implies. If you've ever been around a privacy-focused guy, these guys are paranoid. So this paranoid guy, paranoid of being caught doing anything, like paranoid of buying groceries, okay? This guy, the main mastermind, supposedly, worth $100 million, kidnaps a guy for $30 million and takes photos of it all and leaves it at the crime scene. The privacy-focused guy takes photos of what he did. Okay, all right. That's weird. Now, some might argue, and I am sympathetic to this, that a lot of these privacy coins are not always involved in, but sometimes some of the people are affiliated with crime. That's one great use of privacy coins, is to conceal crime. There are legitimate reasons to need privacy. There's also, you could be money laundering. Maybe that's where he got his money. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for somebody who's like, and I went through some of his blog posts last night. He has a whole GitHub that I was looking at. He's got a Keybase profile I was looking at. A lot of the things he was worried about was just like security, privacy. He was like a nerd. He doesn't strike me as the type. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it. This could be some Second Life thing. I don't know. But it's pretty weird. It's again, something is a little strange about this whole thing. Now, also of note, Waltz was apparently caught in a bathrobe. Okay. Now, why is that relevant? Well, just think of it. So the story is of like how this guy got away was that he was finally, he said, I'm going to give you my Bitcoin. And again, this is according to the press. Okay. But the guy goes to retrieve the laptop to give him the laptop to put in his Bitcoin password, and the guy bolts, right? he leaves, finds a traffic cop, and is like all bloodied. And then from there, I guess they call it in, and the SWAT team comes. The SWAT team or the people who arrest Waltz find him in a bathroom. Why is that weird? Well, number one, you're in the middle of your give me your Bitcoin session in a bathrobe. Okay. I mean, it's just this whole story doesn't, I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, but it's odd. Okay. So that is one option. The other option is after your kidnapped victim leaves, you go, this has been exhausting, time to draw a bath. How else do you get in the bathrobe? Okay. Where does the bathrobe come from? And why, when the guy escapes, do you not change into, you would think you'd be like hurried to get out of the house or like run or.
Okay. So as he's talking about this, I'm thinking, first off, I couldn't have lasted 3 weeks. No way. Weird that somehow this guy did, right? Like I imagine, I don't know if you're a James Bond fan, but in one of the Daniel Craig movies, he's strapped to a chair naked, and they have this like torture device on a rope, and they're like whipping him from under the chair, smashing all his man bits to pieces, right? And I imagine they're doing stuff like that, maybe taking off each fingernail individually, maybe breaking each knuckle individually, right? It's horribleness. I'm not lasting 3 weeks. Right. It's not gonna happen. No way. But then dude runs down the street all messed up, and then the creepy looking dude who they arrested is in his bathrobe. If anything, he should have had on his "Hey, I just kidnapped a dude" shirt, right? The fact that he's in a bathrobe is very, very super weird. And if dude escapes, why wouldn't you put on, something a little bit more adventurous?
Brand continuity, like gotta keep it together and keep it, keep the brand going. Like he should have had something that it's just so. This is such an odd, way out story that there's so many things that don't make sense. It's so he had 100 million, but then he takes 30 million. Like, I don't know. There's so many, this just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not to the point where I have 100 million yet. Soon, but not there yet.
Right.
I'm not like, I'm not ruining my life to go, grab another 30. Like I'm good. I'm sitting pretty on 100.
Right. Just take 30 out of that 100 and invest it and make some more, like double that up.
Yeah. Like that. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Somebody with 9 figures in their bank account, I can't imagine doing some sort of thing just to boost that, by a third. Right.
Yeah,
it's not like Ocean's 11 where they're trying to take down a casino to get, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, because these guys don't have hundreds of millions of dollars. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
And the whole thing where he's going into his laptop to give him the Bitcoin, that doesn't make sense. You don't need to go. If you're going to unlock your crypto, you'll keep it in a private wallet, like a if I can find it's like like these private wallets, like, so it's like a ledger. So you don't keep it in a computer, you keep it in like one of these things, like it's a ledger.
Is that the cold storage? Is that what that's called?
Your cold storage. So you're not going to go and keep it, and that doesn't make sense. Maybe if but you don't keep your passwords, your seed words in a computer either, because anybody could have access. This is way weird. I don't think this is the truth. I think something else is going on. I think there's something else is going on behind this. There's something else. And you run down the street, bloody. It's weird.
It is weird.
Does that make sense? Like, it's just odd. You clean up your pictures, your Polaroids, your T-shirts, you get those off the ground. No, the guy just apparently was caught in a bathrobe. You can see him right here. I mean, this is not. It's strange. It's a compromising outfit to be wearing, if you know.
I mean, this is me when I roll up to a new hotel and I open the closet and they got a robe. It's like, oh shit, I got to put on a robe.
Wow. This is.
Or suspect you are going to be arrested, as this guy should have suspected when his victim runs out of the house and, across the street. Maybe one explanation is that they just are like the cops were right there and they just swooped in. But again, why was he in that in the first place? It's just weird. Now, John Waltz, besides the two butlers who apparently were present or were at the house or something, okay, there were also two other people. John Waltz has an assistant who is like an actress or something, and she insists she had nothing to do with it. There's also this Swedish executive who is somehow involved. But what's really weird about this is that he is like surrendering himself to the police, but after his vacation in the Hamptons. So this is odd. This is from the New York Post. There's a third person tied to the case, the Swiss trader, who sources have told reached out to the police, said he would surrender this week, but not before he enjoys the Hamptons for Memorial Day. So part of this story.
Hang on, guys. You can take me into custody, but I gotta finish my vacation here, right? Hang on. I'm up in the Hamptons for the week. Leave me alone. I mean, I'll be there on Monday, right? Let me finish out what a ridiculous thing.
Wow. And okay. And I saw a question from someone in the comments. I use the Ledger Nano X for my cold storage. I have a few of these. There's Trezor, there's a whole bunch. It's just you want to have something and buy it from the company. Don't go buy it on eBay. Don't go buy it like on any, because those can be already programmed from somebody. So make sure you are buying your cold wallet from the website itself. Do not go buy it on Amazon, eBay, any of those places. Buy it from the website itself. Trust me on that. Do not do it. I've seen so many people get everything taken because they bought it from like Amazon or eBay.
Which is exactly what I would have done.
You know, yeah, no, don't ever buy those from there because it's cheaper. Nope. Go straight to the website, pay the price. It's your wallet. You're not looking for a discount on a place to hold your money. Like,
Oh man, I'm looking for a great deal.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah. Now,
Actually, I'll tell you what, I am in the market for a new wallet right now. I've got one of those like Ridge type wallets.
Mhm.
You know Ridge wallet, right?
Yeah. I don't have mine.
I have mine's in my gym bag. But it's, I don't know. It used to be great, but now it like scratches up my cards. I have this really fancy credit card that's all metal and weighs like 6 ounces, right? And like every time I pull it in and out, it's getting more and more scratched. So I am in the market for a new wallet. I'm just saying. Maybe I should.
I have this one from, people always give me a compliment on it. It's from Amazon. I wish I had it here. I don't know what I did with it. I do this all the time. I was talking to a customer service person yesterday. I was like, I put my wallet in one spot every time, but then that one spot changes every time. So it's like I'm constantly trying to figure out where I put it.
Yeah.
But I got this one wallet from Amazon. It's got like 6 cards that I can keep in each one, and it has a little switch at the bottom that I makes them pop
It
up.
like shoots them out.
Yep.
That's what I want. That's what I want next.
RFID. I'll send you the link to it. It's really cool
please.
because it's got I can keep like 12 to 16 cards in it, where some only allow you to keep like 6. This one I can keep.
That'll be cool. Yeah, please send me that link.
Yeah.
So do you remember, maybe your dad was like this. My dad still is like this, where he had the trifold wallet and like he stuck everything in there and it's this thick, right? And you're trying to shove that in your back pocket and it gives you like it gives you scoliosis because it bends your spine so much to try and sit on it.
Yeah, my dad, well, it's my stepdad, but he's my dad basically. He was a podiatrist, so he had this we called it a man bag. I don't know, it was like this bag. It was like a just like a, you know, it was like long, it had a little strap and you had all these things in it and you zip it and all like 3 different zippers in it and you keep everything in there. And so he had this little man bag that he carried with him like everywhere. Some people called it a purse. We just called it a man bag. But yeah, he carried that with him he never had a wallet. He always had that bag with him.
It was like a fanny pack?
Yeah, kind of, but it didn't latch around. It was just a bag like that they carry that was like, you know, it was like I don't know, you can't see it, but it's, you know,
like a small one strap backpack type thing?
Yeah, not even a backpack. It was just a bag like you carry it with one hand.
Oh, he carried it like with his hand out or not on his body?
Yeah, that's in his hand. And it'd go like on the side of the car. It was just this leather bag from I think Toomey or something like that. I can't remember.
Interesting. You know, last year we traveled abroad and my wife, like it's a thing now, these Lululemon crossbody bags, which is basically a fanny pack.
Mhm.
Bro, I rocked that thing the whole time. Like I was such a tourist with like crossbody fanny pack.
I'll
I was
take
like, I don't care.
backpacks. Like if I'm gonna go like on a immerse, there you go. Maybe that man purse.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. Yeah, kind of like a bank bag, but like with 3 different zippers, and it was leather. And it was black. Um, and there's like a pocket on the outside, and he'd carry like his pills, the car keys. I don't know, a whole bunch of other stuff that was in that thing. Yeah, so that was my whole thing. I carry like if I'm going on a like vacation, I usually carry a backpack so I can have like cameras and my wallet, the phone, everything in a bottle of water. Like I carry everything with me in that, so I don't have the fanny pack. Um,
Dude, I'll rock a fanny pack every day. Ain't no thing for me.
Good to know.
Great. Is that there's a Swedish trader, okay, that's his other assistant, who's just chilling in the Hamptons and calls the cop like 911. Hey, I'm the guy, but what can you let me finish my Mai Tai? I'm just saying there's going to be more that comes out in this case. I know that for a fact. Again, I'm not saying this didn't happen because there's apparently just evidence of all of it laying around the house. I think all of it happened, if that's true. I just think there's details we are missing very clearly. It's just a strange thing. I also feel like, in different of these articles, they mention like different little details, and each detail was like shocking. In this New York Post article, for example, the Italian national was tied to a chair and tasered while his feet were in a bucket of water, pistol whipped, and had his arms and legs cut with a chainsaw. I mean, this is insane. This is like a fictional. If you wrote this in a fictional book, you'd go, well, this is unrealistic. No way. This is going to happen. It is like, and again, feel terrible for the victim of all this, but it is like a made for TV special. But if you just think about it, who's involved here? Some privacy focused guy is taking a bunch of photos of, it's just weird. Not putting it past them. People are crazy, whatever. But yeah, it's very odd. Now, I also want to bring attention to the fact that this is also why, one, if you're a really rich crypto guy, you should probably not let anyone know about it, because there are people.
Yeah, Ferdinand, you shouldn't let anybody know about it.
Good thing is I had some major losses, so and got rid of my Lambo, so I'm done. So I'm doing some shifts right now. So I liquidated quite a few things. Just doesn't make sense anymore to have those stupid things.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, but again, you can't roll an hour down the road in a Huracan. You're gonna get a headache. It just is too loud. Everything is right there behind you. And I tried to do I had a board meeting and stuff, and I was trying to do this little road trip down in California. And man, after about an hour, dude, I could not. Because you're only driving for like a half hour, then you're out. You get out of it. You're not really driving it. But man, when you're in them, it's not that fun. Okay, I have to.
Really? Okay. Let me ask you a question. You've had fancier cars than me. So my car's a Tesla. My wife's car is a Lexus SUV.
Okay.
I mean, they're nice, but they're not like fancy cars, right? And she thinks we should get a truck. So I'm looking at like a GMC 2500.
Okay.
But like at one point in my life, I really wanted an Aston Martin. I really wanted to drive around. I feel like I was James Bond.
Yeah.
But the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't want that attention, right? I don't want to roll up to a gas station and have to feel, oh, how much is that? Wow, that's a cool car. Don't you feel like James Bond driving it? Or like just driving around, all these people looking at me, right? I kind of want to just blend in the background at this point in my life with the car. Like, what do you feel about that?
So I'll tell you this. I'll put it. There's a couple of sides to this. So I'll just give you kind of my take on my experience with this. So when you have, let's say, a supercar or something like that, it's going to, number one, it's cool when you do pull up to a gas station like that, and then there's an older guy that, maybe 60, 70 years old, and he's never had the experience or been that close to that machine before. So his reaction when he comes to the car is of pure appreciation and almost like this is an experience. I've had grown men literally have tears in their eyes by saying, "Oh my gosh, I've never thought I'd have the opportunity to see one of these and get this close to one of these cars before." So that's one aspect. There's another aspect to it to where it opens up doors to where, and we'll do this once Outlier goes where it's going. I promise you, I've got to take you, Mahesh, and we'll pull Mark out of the house. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we will pull him out of the house.
You got to come to Texas to do it.
Then we'll do a supercar ride up in Texas, just so you guys can get the experience, the feel, and then the camaraderie that you have with other guys that have those specific cars, whether it's a Ferrari, Lambo, Porsche, whatever it may be. There's a certain camaraderie that you have with those specific guys. So then it opens up doors business wise. So now you're having associations and you're having conversations with guys that are captains of industry that now they know you're kind of qualified to be in that conversation. So things open up. That's another great aspect to it. The flip side to all that is the dregs of society, the people who want to rob you, the people who don't respect, supercars are a work of art. It's not just going fast. Each car has its own, like Pagani's, the windows in those, just the side mirrors are shaped after his wife's eyes. Like,
Wow.
it's a piece of art. It is absolutely amazing when you see the lines and the curvatures that go into it. So when you can appreciate it at that level, that's a whole nother aspect. But there is then the flip side to where you're going to have to deal with the negative aspect and then the attention. So I think I'm kind of on both sides, man, because I love what it does for people, and I love, like, you go pull up, let's say, to like go out to eat, and then a valet has never had a chance to drive a Huracan or an Aventador or an F8, whatever it may be. They just it gives them something more in life, which is really cool. Be afraid of getting it dented and scratched.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the car that I have, my like daily that I have now, my wife will not touch it. It's an Audi S8, but it's got like
Oh,
600.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got
The
650
black.
horsepower. It's a beast.
What
But I
color
love
is it? Is it black?
it's black underneath, but I got it wrapped. And then I
Oh.
got rims that kind of with highlights of the rims that match the wrap. So it's
What
kind
color
of
is
like
the wrap?
a matte gray that kind of turns like a hint of purple if you get it into the sun in the right way.
That's
Um,
cool. Yeah, I
yeah,
just imagine S8s, like, I feel like there's a movie where one of the main characters drives a car just like that.
my mom calls it the mafia car.
Yeah.
She's like, every time I watch a show, I can see your car on like these mafia shows. I'm like, Mom, it's not a mafia car. It's just a really cool car. But then I have my truck, like I have my Dodge 1500 that I bash that thing, into
Yeah.
it's just a truck. You got to have a truck. I think that's important.
And dude,
But
trucks are nice. Like,
they
you
are.
get like
So
a really
I would
loaded
tell
out.
you, go get what you get what matches your personality. That's really what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the market, get something that matches. I kind of like having nice things. I'm kind of like, I kind of push the limits with things a little bit with things that I have.
Well, so where we live here in Texas, big fancy nice trucks,
Mhm.
they're the status car, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Mark is
yeah,
the same way. He's got his truck is pretty awesome. Like,
yeah.
so I love trucks too. I've had huge trucks and F250s where we had like 36-inch tires with a 3 or 6-inch lift kit on there. But I'm only dude, I'm 5'6". Like, I can't
I didn't know
drive
that.
those things, dude. Like, it looks stupid. Like, like I can't. I have to drive something that fits me. My wife, she's 4'11". Like, she can't drive those big. Like, we can't roll like that, dude. We gotta have the steps that come down for us, and like. So small cars. Even with her, she's got a whatever the hell, some
The
brand.
Jeep?
Yeah, the Jeep thing.
Yeah.
Even that, she's I was watching her get in the car the other day. I'm like, you gotta like jump in, like. So, you know, I say get what matches you. And if you want to push the limits, but Pagani, like they just said, the Paganis are absolutely beautiful. Like that is one of the absolutely most beautiful works of art. I'd never buy one. I will admire them. And one of my friends, Manny Koshman, he's got one, and it's
Wait, hold on. You're friends with Manny Koshman?
yeah, you can see, yeah, if you look at my Instagram, you can see me with him.
Okay, so like I'm not in the supercar world, and I know of Manny Koshman. Like that's how big of a supercar
yeah,
guy
if you
he
look
is.
at go to my Instagram, you can see I spent some time with him and went through his whole collection of cars. We spent a weekend with him, and he's got that's I think one of my favorite Paganis that I saw, that I've ever seen, was at his, it was the a brown car sounds ugly, right? Like it sounds like it would be the ugliest, but this Pagani was the most it was the most beautiful car I think I've ever laid eyes on. Like it was absolutely breathtaking. The interior, like it had this like white cream interior with some brown like, it was just absolutely breathtaking.
Dude,
Um,
I think next week, rather than talking about crypto kidnappings, we need to talk about cars, because I
I'm
could go
down
on
for
this
that,
for a
man.
while. That sounds
I'm
good.
down for that. That's my so my thing is and if you don't get one, I promise you I will take you and we'll be rolling, and we'll take a road trip for at least a day, 2 days, and you can get the feel and the lay of the land. Normally you do it with like 12 other guys, and they bring their
Mhm.
cars out, and
Okay,
you know,
so my car is the Tesla Model Y Performance, and I got the Performance model
that's
because
pretty awesome.
dude, yeah, legit. It's brutally fast.
Yes.
And so I wanted the Performance model because I felt like if I didn't get this one, that I would always wish I had, even though it
Mhm.
has less range, even though it had like the skinniest tires on earth, which I went with bigger tires after I replaced them. Um, it it is so brutally fast. I can't put it in the normal mode is sport mode. So I
Yeah.
keep it in chill mode 100% of the time. And it's just a party trick now for when I put it in sport mode.
Oh,
But
that's awesome.
the real disconcerting part of it is when you smash it, it is silent. Like you might hear like a,
Right.
and it's really, there's no theater, there's no drama, there's no shifting gears.
What does it
There's
do for you? Like, see, that's where I would be like, okay, because the one thing that I try to tell my wife, like with that just the rumble and just the deep tones of when you're, and then when it hits the highs, when you're at like, and you hit the shifter, bro. It's like this feeling that just goes through you that is like, oh, love it. It's like,
yeah.
so I don't, what happens when the sound gets removed? Is it like watching like a silent movie? Like I'm trying, I
No,
haven't,
it's really weird. It's really
that's
weird,
what I'm gonna say. It's
especially
gotta be a
when
weird,
I take other grown men in the car with me, and they're like, "This is so fast, but it feels weird because it's silent."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
'Cause
is
there's
a real
no,
thing.
yeah, you're not feeling like the deep undertones.
No, you don't feel any vibrations. I mean, you're just like pinned back to your
I
seat,
keep
but
seeing Elf in the comments. What's going on with Elf? What's
hang on,
happening
let's
with
go look
that?
on Elf stock here real quick. That's a Jeremy stock. Ooh, up 32% today
Yeah,
after
man, I
earnings,
keep
it
seeing
looks
it in
like.
the comments. People keep saying it. Did you see anything about
That
this?
Nah, this is not one that I trade.
Okay.
I might at some point, but not today. I mean, the news was that Trump, his tariffs got blocked, and the
Yeah, I heard
market's
that.
reacting. Yeah, market likes it that his tariffs got blocked. We'll have to see if it pushes through this order block, though. I mean, Outlier still has bearish breadth. Outlier still has it. Actually, it went from buy sell, or no, it went from sell buy sell. So the market's back on a sell signal today. A little bit of choppiness right here. So I'm not stressing like this. That's why I wanted to
Interesting.
start the day talking about like no mo FOMO, just having your plan, relaxing, following that plan. Ferdinand, I like to say you can drive from Dallas to Disney World, and you know exactly where you're going to get in and exactly which exit you're going to take to get off. But along the way, you have a choice to do anything along the
Mhm.
whole way. Not that you should, but You could.
Interesting. Yeah, I kept seeing it pop up. I'm like, man, something's got to be going on with this
Yeah,
elf thing
I don't know.
here.
Earnings were good. We'll have to see. So listen, Ferdinand, this was great. I'm excited to talk about cars with you next week.
Yeah,
and everybody
absolutely,
who's
man.
watching, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Like this is a lot of fun. Thursday mornings are meant to be chill.
I love it, man. I appreciate everybody being here. Love hanging out with you on Thursday. It makes everything like my Thursdays start the day off right. I like it.
That's right. Very cool. Ferdinand, really appreciate you. Looking forward to talking to you next week. And everybody who's watching live, thanks so much for coming. Hey, listen, you should click one of these two videos. One's going to be over my head, one's over Ferdinand's head. But only if you want to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. I mean, otherwise, you go watch somebody else's channel. But if you want to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, this is the place to be. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.